saging the room, raising the vibrations. Clearing any stagnant energy, any negative old thought waves. Practice today. If you have sage or feel free to do the same in making the space inviting for your spirit, your soul, more settled for the mind. You focus on the breath today. And for the body, the calming scent, the burning of herbs brings to us. Set this down and let it fizzle. So, you may find that you enjoy sitting up. For our seated postures, lifts the hips, allows them to be higher than the knees, helping the pelvis so we're not rounding in the lower back. You may also find it useful to have some kind of bolster. And then lastly, you may find or books useful in bending over. Do a forward fold. You're not having to reach the floor. You're now here. You could even stack a second. And then you're having less stress on lower back, hamstrings, and such. So if you would like to go have those things, I'll give you a moment. If you don't have blocks, you can use thick books, hold up other blankets, anything that helps lift the floor up to you that's somewhat as firm. All right, now that we have our things gathered, we will be focusing on the heart meridian and these two organs are linked to one another in Chinese medicine. The heart organ and the small intestines being the yang organ. In a wide knee child's pose. So you'll bring your big toes to touch each other. I'll face this way so you can see. So you'll bring your big toes behind. And then your knees will be out wide, and they'll actually be as wide as your yoga mat. So now you saw my toes touching. We'll go here. Big toes touch. Knees out nice and wide. Go ahead and grab your bolster. You could even have a couple blankets rolled into each other, whatever is comfortable for your body. And then you can walk yourself forward, facing one cheek down on the pillow. And if you don't want to use a pillow at all, then you'll simply walk yourself all the way down and place one cheek on the mat. Or you can use your forearms to rest your pillow. Allow your eyes to close here, your arms to become heavy and relaxed. Begin to observe in time, noticing where it's at today. Notice the parts touching the floor and the parts that are lifting away from the floor. Begin to tune in to the where there's compression, where there's openness. As the body begins to settle in this posture, I invite you to mind, notice the thoughts running through, or Sanskrit, the chitta vrittis, the whirlwinds of the mind. On up there, simply observing, taking note, not trying, simply becoming aware of what thoughts are hanging out up there. Then bring your attention to your breath and the exhale. Can switch the way your head is turned, lifting it up, turning it side. Settling in on this, noticing how it may feel different from on the other side. And then settling back on the breath. Observe the inhale and the exhale. Where in the body you feel the breath the most. Maybe it's in the chest, the collarbones, or the belly. And then with a gentle awareness, begin to send your breath down to your allowing the breath to massage the internal organs. Inhale and exhale, inviting new life force, energy, or prana. And as you breathe in and out, begin to imagine an infinite pool at the low belly. And each inhale in brings more water to this infinite at the low belly, filling it up. And as it fills more, allow it to provide a sense of warmth and love to yourself. Watch the breath in and down, all the way to the low belly, from the navel to the pubic bone, circling this infinite pool to draw from whenever we need. You can slowly turn your head to center and then begin to walk yourself up all the way. Remove any props you may have used. And then don't drag your knees. One knee, bring it to the center, and lift the other knee, bring it to the center. Good. And walk ourselves out all the way onto our belly. Oh, and then you have two options. You can take shoulders a little past, or not your shoulders. You'll set your elbows a little past. And your forearms will be as wide as your shoulders. You'll press your hands into the mat. And then you can allow the shoulders to relax, the legs to relax. No effort in the muscles. To have shoulder injuries or other things that maybe makes us not that comfortable, you can press your hands into the mat and straighten the elbows. Makes for a deep, but may help any shoulder pain that you may experience, especially because you feel you. And so we'll settle in, close the eyes, up if that feels good on your neck. And so we hold these poses for extended periods of time because it takes the muscles a minute and to realize they don't have to work anymore, that they're safe and protected, and they can let go, so deeper joints and the ligaments and the tendons. Then we also are creating compression in certain parts of. When we do this for extended periods of time, we shut the blood flow off. You may notice some poses, not to worry unless it's painful. As soon as we blood will rush to these compressed areas and be able to reach deeper levels to nourish the joints more deeply than a standard yoga class that's focused on. Come back to the breath, watching the inhale and the exhale, both exiting and entering in and out of the body. And as you reconnect with inhale and your exhale, I invite you to connect back to full of love that's residing within you, your inner Buddha nature, to love and cherish all that is. Breath flowing down the torso into this infinite pool. Bringing awareness to the fact that it exists inside of you. And it's not just on the front of the body, it's also on the back. Sounds like a band. Infinite pool. Continuing to allow each breath to flow down to this pool and nourish it. As we shine the heart forward in the back bend, we're oftentimes vulnerable or afraid in some kind of way. It's not often we shine our chests so proudly out into the world. We're often cowered away, closed up, to avoid any painful, sorrowful events. But we often miss out on so many live in this way. So working this heart meridian line today, more open, loving nature into our bodies and our minds. Now, the pose that you're in, invite you to slowly lower down and use your here so that your forehead is facing down. Mine is going to face this way so you can hear me. Next, to relax. Feel the blood rush back in spine. Take a few more breaths here. Keeping the gaze. And as you feel the blood life force rush back into these areas of compression. Also notice that some compressed are located near your infinite pool, your inner Buddha, loving awareness inside of you. Envision this nourishment going deep and feeding every last cell, physical and energetic, love it can receive today. You can keep your left forearm and continue to rest your head. We're going to bend our right knee, bringing our buttocks. Then you'll extend your right arm down by your right hip. And if it's available, you can grab on to or your calf, your ankle, your toes. Begin to pull the foot, opening up the front of the hip flexor here. Continue to watch the breath. Notice if it becomes any poses, maybe backing off a little bit. Steady again. And then very slowly begin leg long onto the mat, bringing the right arm down to meet the left. We'll go use your right forearm as a pillow here and bend the left knee, bringing the left foot toward, then extending your left arm long towards your left hip. Grab onto your shin, your ankle, your toes, whatever is available to you. And option you may find using a belt is something that you could add to your toolbox. Connect back to the breath here, following the inhale in through to the belly, and then up from the belly, back out the nose. Continuing to nourish this infinite pool of love. Two of the main emotions of the heart organ are love and hate. Sometimes if we're feeling hateful, we've closed off to the world around us, to the infinite. So by connecting back to this infinite source, we can remember it's there for us to always draw on, to pull from. You can begin to release the left leg, extending it long, bringing the left forearm back to meet the right forearm. Taking a moment with your head down, resting the legs. Then begin to the buttocks, releasing the lower back. And once your lower back feels released, we'll begin to push our back. So you can come up onto your forearms and your hands and knees. And then step wide leg child pose. We'll come into a standard child pose, so your big toes will touch and your knees will be there. Maybe a fist can fit in between. And you'll slowly walk yourself. Rest the head on your forearms. Gently close the eyes here as you melt into the forearms. After we just open, we're now compressing it, bringing these opposite motions. Stretch and move the fascia or the muscle fibers in our body onto emotions that we haven't expressed, or by slowly working into them and moving the fibers and bringing nourishment to them, we're able to gently release any stored up tension, other negative emotions or feelings that are here in the body. So connect back to your breath and the exhale, compressing the hip flexors and the torso. Continue to take the breath down to the base of your belly, focusing on sending the breath as far down as you can. Now, with the low belly full of this beautiful, warm, golden waters, imagine send to the heart center and filling the heart of wrapping it in this warm blanket and letting it know that it's safe. Your inner Buddha is here to protect it. So whatever may be perfect, and slowly begin to walk yourself up to sitting nice and slow. No hurry to go anywhere today. Next posture will be a heart opening posture called You'll take your knees about hip width distance apart, and then keeping your hips over your knees, you begin to walk yourself out as far as this. You're going to bend your left elbow and take your left forearm perpendicular to, nice and slow. You'll continue to walk your right arm out. Keep the gaze down to the floor. If this is comfortable, you can place your head on your forearm or the floor. Begin to open up the right shoulder here. Trying to keep the hips over the knees. Might have to readjust a little. Situated and comfy in the position. And then you can gently release that are holding on. Allowing the heart to melt towards the and continuing to envision heart filling from your infinite internal source of love. Okay to shine and show your joy to the world, to yourself. Filling the lower belly up and wide. Because we won't hold these postures as long. The shoulder muscles are far tinier than the hip muscles. So when you're ready, right hand back towards your face. And then you'll press into your right hand, coming up to a table. We'll go to the other side. So you can set your right forearm down on the mat. Left arm out. Extending the left arm nice and long. And then letting the heart, the chest, towards the floor as we open up through the heart meridian, which actually runs up through your shoulder, down the inner arm, all the way out your. So if you can envision this as you're stretching, you have an energy channel running from your heart outwards underneath your clavicle, shoulder joint, down the interior of your arm, your forearm, all the tip of your pinky. So when you is a promise of the heart. A few more breaths here. Inhale to the low belly, and back up again through the heart, bringing nourishment to the heart. And then when you're left to your right side, you can begin to walk your left arm back, press into your left hand to a tabletop position. And from here, you can begin to move the spine and any organic movements that feel right to you, bringing some circles and some cat-cow motions to the spine before like onto your feet. You can keep your head down. If you want, you can grab your blocks here or books, or I mean, literally, we can use a water bottle to rest on here. Yeah, so I'll use just so everyone can see. That's so great. Distance apart, they don't need to be on tightrope. And then the knees will be nice and bent so the torso can hang over the thighs. And then your head will be heavy. And then if you're not reaching the ground, this is where you can grab a water bottle to rest on, have your blocks to rest on, whatever it may be that makes it so you can not have to be straining. You could even pull a chair up and have a chair to rest your forearms on. And allow the head to become heavy, beginning to settle in to your forward fold. Come back to the breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Continuing to fill the heart space, wrapping it up with beautiful, filling love from your infinite source, your infinite pool. Each breath, a new chance, a new opportunity to invite love into the body, into the mind space. Oftentimes we get wrapped up in our thoughts or our viewpoints. We're stuck on our beliefs that we decide inviting hate in is easier than trying to figure out how to love. Through this practice of continuing to cultivate love internally for ourselves, for our cells and our organs, our body, we're able to one day go out into the world and give this love freely to everybody, regardless of their viewpoints and beliefs or perspectives on things. If you have blocks or anything in front of you to hold you up, I invite you to go ahead and move them out of the way. We're going to do a little exercise with some movement. It's called cupping. So you'll take your hands, you'll stay in your forward fold, you'll take your hands, just want you to be able to see, and you'll cup them, creating little cups. And so in your forward fold, starting at your feet, keeping them cupped, you'll begin to go up and down your legs. And it's creating this cupping motion on the calves and the knees, the legs, the thighs, the buttocks. You can stay folded over. No reason to stand up. Continuing to move up and down the legs. From the hips, the low back, all the way down, as fast or as slow as you would like. And so this cupping motion helps increase circulation in the body, also helps move your lymph fluid, which clears out toxins and viruses and harmful substances from the body. Sometimes we don't forget the inside of your thighs. I almost did. A lot of times we don't move enough for our bodies to properly drain and move the fluids that need to be moved to the lymph nodes and back to the heart to be flushed out and cleaned so the body can be functioning at its finest. So we're mixing it in here because the blood is connected to the heart. The heart helps pump all this beautiful nourishment into the body. The only other system that's circulatory in nature in the body is the lymph system, except it doesn't have a heart. So pump it through. On us. So keep on cupping. Your lymph fluid is depending on you. If you haven't heard my deodorant salesman, you totally should, because you learn lots more about your lymphs there. All right, one more round. Roll back. Get those big glutes. Cup them. Cup the glutes. Cup the insides of the knees. Down the shins. Backs of the calves. Maybe you lift one foot and get the bottom. Lift the other foot, get the bottom. Woo! Woo! And then come back to your forward fold. Woo! Take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Woo! As we built a little bit of heat, getting our blood flowing. Wiggle it out any way you need to. My hips have been a little tight these days, so bending one knee and straightening the other. Then when you're ready, you can begin to bend both of your knees by coming all the way to seated on your bottom. Get this stuff out of the way. Grab some water if you would like or need. Next posture will be a seated one. If you like to sit on pillows, or not pillows, blankets. Firm blankets are the best way to lift the hips. So you'll place your blanket, sit on it, so nice and comfy. We'll keep our right knee bent, extend the left leg long. So the right heel will be coming in towards the groins. Left leg's long to half straddle. And then if you have a pillow and you can reach it, sorry, definitely grab it and place it in front of you. So nicely. Might not get this far down. All right. This is half dragonfly. And we'll begin to walk ourselves forward any amount. You can use your hands to rest right here. You can rest on your forearms. And if you can reach your pillow, you can go all the way down to your pillow. Allow the head to become heavy. Connect back with the breath here. Bring awareness to the back of your heart as you're folded over here in this posture. Begin to notice how it feels at the back of your heart, on your back, as you watch this infinite source of love from within stream upwards from your low belly to your heart, circling around it, embracing it with warmth and support, security. And as you're here, begin to ask the heart what it needs from you. And don't go chasing the answer, but allow it to bubble up as we visit some more postures. Continuing to send nourishment and love up to the heart as you ask, what do you need from me? How can I support you so that you may release any hate or sorrow you may be feeling? Continuing to allow the loving awareness to bubble up from the low belly towards the heart, as the heart works to figure out what it needs to help release the hate or sorrow it's still holding on to. Deep breath in is another draw of life force, of pranic energy flowing into the body to nourish you and your infinite source of love. Allowing the muscles of the leg to relax as you soften your face. And keep the breath slow and steady. On an inhale, you can begin to walk yourself up all the way to a nice tall seat. We'll go ahead and go to the other side. You'll grab underneath your left knee, bending the left knee, bringing the left heel in towards the groins, and extending the right leg nice and long onto the mat. And repositioning yourself, ensuring your pelvis is tilting forward here before you walk yourself out, allowing the hands to hold you, allowing your forearms to rest, or walking all the way out onto your pillows and blankets. Allow the head to become heavy. Gently close the eyes and come back to that internal space that you've created throughout class today. Noticing how it feels to have cultivated and visualized this inner Buddha, and then sending him upwards to nourish the heart space. Feeling the warmth inside of the heart and the chest cavity here. As you again come back to seeing how we can support the heart in releasing any negative emotions, especially those associated with hate and sorrow. These are the emotions the heart knows best. Settling on the breath, noticing if the air is flowing more through the left or the right nostril. Noticing the temperature and quality of air. So you allow the heart to ruminate over this question, this support, this helping hand that you're offering out for it. It's not often we pause and take time to reach out to our internal organs and see what kind of support they could use. Usually it's the opposite way around, and they do it without asking. Continue to breathe, knowing each inhale allows the muscles and the fascia to relax a little deeper, sending nourishment a little deeper into the hip sockets. You may notice you can come deeper into your posture as you've sat there and opened up the joint a little bit more. Feel free to walk yourself out into a deeper pose. You do not have to be a statue in any way whatsoever. That's not fun. Then the heart knows that's not fun. When your right leg feels like it's even stretched compared to the left, go ahead and begin to walk yourself up to a comfortable seated position on an inhale. You can go ahead and move any pillows or bolsters you had in front of you. Take your right hand under your right knee to bend the right knee. We'll make our way back onto our belly. Coming to laying all the way down on the belly, moving your blanket out of the way. So you'll take your arms out to a T. Your face can be facing, place your left cheek down for now. And then with your arms out to a T, you'll keep your left arm extended, moving anything out of the way that might be in the way. Then you'll walk your right hand back in towards your face, bending at the elbow, and begin to press into your right hand, rolling the right hip up, rolling the entire right torso up, and stretching, opening up the front of the left shoulder here. Breathing in through the nose. Now, maybe wiggling the pinky finger here, activating the heart meridian, noticing if you feel any sensations traveling up the arm into the heart as you wiggle the pinky finger. The hips can lift as much or as little as you would like. The adventure is yours to choose. And again, because we're working in the shoulder muscles, and there's only 4 little tiny muscles on the front of the shoulder. We will not be holding this posture for very long. So go ahead and take 5 more breaths wherever you are at. And on your last breath, you can begin to slowly unwind, bringing both hips down to the floor, extending the right arm long onto the mat. You'll take your gaze and switch it so that it's facing over to the left. Then begin to walk the left hand back in towards the face. Press into the left hand, and then lift the left hip any amount to stretch the right shoulder. Close the eyes. Relax the legs. And maybe you wiggle the pinky finger on this side, noticing any sensations that you may feel up and down the arm here. Just bringing added movement to that heart meridian channel, opening it up and moving any stagnant or stuck life force that might be getting in the way of us, allowing to receive and give joy in our lives. Taking 5 more breaths wherever you're at in your posture here. And then slowly unwinding yourself, coming back to laying on your belly. You can bring your forearms underneath you and gently begin to roll over onto your backside as slowly, as gently as you would like to roll over. There's no rush at all. Oh, I'm gonna have to take my hair out to lay down flat. And so if you have lower back issues, you may find that placing a block between your legs, or even placing a blanket between your legs. Maybe you fold it up one more time so it's like super fat taco status. Then we're going to move into supine twists, but I want to show you this part. So you'll take your arms out to a T, Lift your knees into your chest, and then you drop your knees over to the right. Maybe you shift your hips a little towards the left. Then you can keep this blanket here so that there's not so much strain pulling on the lower back as you twist. And that way your thoracic region can be nourished in the twist as is intended. Then if you would like, you can take your gaze over your left shoulder to deepen the twist. Gently close the eyes. Connect back to your breath. Back to your heart center as it shines up towards the ceiling. Wide open, pinky to pinky extended, welcoming in all the joyous love life has to offer. Continuing to watch the breath, becoming genuinely curious about where it's headed to and how it's getting there. Each breath is new nourishment and nutrients for the body to take and assimilate and transfer out to various parts of the body. So becoming curious about where your breath is nourishing, and if you can have the power to send your breath to certain spots to nourish those areas. Watching the breath as the muscles continue to relax and release. Feeling the infinite source within drawing up to the heart. Letting it know it's safe to release anything it needs, any hate, sorrow. Allow your infinite source of love to fill those pockets of negativity being released into the ether with love and joy for all that you are as a human being and all that you are to this universe. You're everything. Inhale and take your gaze to the center. Bring your knees back to the center. We'll take the twist to the other side, taking the knees over to the left. Maybe you shift your hips a little bit to the right to keep both shoulder blades on the mat. Then if you did so on the other side, go ahead and take your gaze over your right shoulder to deepen the twist. Try to keep both shoulder blades plugged into the mat here so that the twist may occur in the middle back, an area that's not often nourished as much as it should be. And connecting back to your breath, following the inhale And the exhale. Connecting back to that heart space center and seeing if it has fizzled up any requests for support from you. And then as you allow this to fizzle up, know that your inner Buddha is there to love and support anything that arises. And if anything uncomfortable seems to arise, come back to your inhale. Noticing the cool air moving your nasal hairs. Noticing how the air feels at the tip of the nose as you inhale. Anytime the waters inside begin to become wavy, come back to this focal point. And then slowly go back into your deeper practice. On an inhale, you can bring your gaze back to center, bring your knees back to center. If you have anything between your legs, go ahead and remove that out of the way. And wrap your arms around your shins, giving yourself a squeeze. Maybe you lift your head up, coming into a little tiny ball. And then when you're ready, slowly release. And then you can begin to stretch out to Shavasana. So you may find, to allow the body to fully release, that you like a pillow on your head. You may also find that to support the lower back, you enjoy a bolster or couch cushion or pillow from your bed, more rolled up blankets under your knees. And then gently begin to take yourself all the way down into your final resting pose, allowing the legs to roll open, allowing the arms to roll open, giving the armpits enough space to breathe. Gently close the eyes, lick your lips. Allow your lips to gently part as you allow the top and bottom teeth to separate. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Allow the muscles of your face to begin to soften and release, allowing any crinkles of the forehead or the eyebrows to gently melt away. The eyeballs to sink deep into their sockets so the eyelids may become heavy and soft. Allow the throat to soften and relax. As your upper back melts into the mat, the arms become heavy. Allow the abdomen to soften as you allow the legs to release any effort. the entire body from head to toe, softened and relaxed. As you bring your awareness back to your shining heart center filled with gold, allow your awareness to rest on this beautiful gold healing light at the center of your chest, allowing any chitter of the mind to drift away as you bring your attention back to this heart-centered space. Noting if thoughts arise, acknowledging the thought, come back to the heart space. No matter how many times it's needed, gently nudging the mind back to the heart-centered space, back to your heart center. Practice, practice, practice. With your attention at your heart center, I invite you to bring your awareness up your nostrils and invite a deep breath in through the nose all the way down to the base of the belly and back out again. One more deep breath in through the nose and out. And gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rolling out your wrists and your ankles, bringing life back into the body any way that feels appropriate to you and your body. Maybe you stretch from toes to fingers, nice and long. Whatever feels best to wake up the muscles, the mind, all of it, letting it know we're moving on to the next activity. Then you can gently roll over to your right hand side, allowing your left hand side to shine, open your beautiful feminine energy side, taking a moment in a space of gratitude for your body, your practice, your heart, for knowing what it needs to support you, thanking yourself for pausing to ask the heart what it needs. In your own time, gently pushing yourself up all the way to a nice comfy seat. Crossing the legs, however is comfortable for you. And then you can bring your hands to heart center, pressing the palms away, allowing the base of the thumb to press into your sternum. Gently bow your head, acknowledging the wisdom that lies within the heart. Giving thanks for all that it does in guiding you. And begin to extend all four fingers out towards you, in front of you, letting your heart shine its light outwards. We'll inhale the hands up, and then stretching the arms up, letting the light shine out from us, and letting the universe's light rain back down on us. Bowing forward, the light in me honors, sees, and respects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.